I've been ridiculed. I've been treated like if I'm less by people that say, some people that say they love me. I've been talked to and at in a way that, no, sometimes when I really look at myself and say, no, I'm a very, like, I am very fucking humble. Because I accepted, I said, okay, no, it's okay, let me listen to what that person has said. Because, you know, even in criticism, sometimes there's truth. But then people, when you start to show them, you know, your weak points, you open up, they try to fuck with you. Oh, Dilmaro! Yes, sir. Merci, frangin. Merci, merci. Welcome, welcome, brothers. Moto Music. Thank you very much for tuning in. The Shadow Gang in the building. The Bodhists. That's right. Welcome. When you start to show a little bit of weakness, when you open up to people, they think that you're a cat, when actually you're a lion. But because you are showing yourself very calmly, you're humble, you're this, but my hand, my powers, if I decide to slap you, I swear to God, your head might not stay on its location. But because I'm not violent, I refuse violence. That's one of the reasons why I did martial arts, and that's one of the reasons why I work, again, when you work on yourself, when you work on your mental health to the point where even violence is of no importance for you. I sat in front of very dangerous people in my life. Very dangerous people. And we're not talking about, like, you know, guys who want to be dangerous. We're talking about people who killed people. No, and I'm not saying that in a proud way. I've seen the eyes of people who've lost their souls. I've seen the eyes of people who strayed away from the path that they were supposed to follow. I'm not trying to be that kind of person. Obviously, I wouldn't kill anybody, but it's just to say that it's comparable in a certain way. When you're being stripped, or you're trying to strip yourself from, or disalign yourself from your calling. It's almost like you're separating yourself from your soul. At a certain point, some say, well, you know what, you have to suffer because, you know, life is not always easy. What are you talking about? So, for me to meet your grace, I need to be doing what you say I should be doing because you think that this is better than what I do. And that's why I tell to people, I say, look, if today you're making money and you're well off, and you see somebody who's not as good as you financially, because I've been there, I know what it is to sit next to people who think less of who you are because of financial reasons, but they cannot say anything because they know that we are not in the same weight category. Because the moment something off comes out, something can come and hit them hard. But we are not stupid, we're educated people. We come from very high educations. A high value man knows how to behave himself. So you understand it's okay. But understand that in life, everything turns. It turns. Oh. Today is your turn. Tomorrow is their turn. It's fine. That's why you should never envy anyone. And anxiety should not be built on the lack of. And unfortunately, a lot of the time, it is built on that. It is built on the lack of something. That's what I felt. I felt the lack of something on Friday. I felt like, wow, what the fuck is this happening right now? Why am I being met by this challenge? You understand? That's what I'm telling you. In this life, if you don't value yourself, don't expect people to value you for you. It's impossible. Because people have a tendency to want to exercise power over you, one way or the other. But the thing is this, it's normal. If you act as a rug, you shall be treated as a rug. So what do you want to be? It doesn't mean that you have to be this super fucking massive alpha female or alpha male or whatever. No. It just means, look, I understand what you're saying. I understand your point. You've got a point, but I've got a point too. And I appreciate your input, but it's okay. I'll follow my way. Oh, but I understand. But we will see each other again. And God is my witness. If He permits, and if my word has been well put, and that I've seized the opportunities that was presented to me the right way, we will see each other again. And I will be the one treating you to that restaurant. I will be the one treating you to that whatever. And I will be the one to be pleased and honored to give you back what you gave me. Even though you may have given me what you gave me was not the best intentions. Don't undermine anyone. Don't undermine anyone. Even the person that comes from the lowest of the low can surprise you. And that doesn't mean that you have to be, it comes from even people who are rich, because there's an assumption. Because you come from money, you're not worthy. Who told you that? Who told you that? Oh, because what? Do you know? Do you know the realities of each family? Do you know what's going on behind the curtains, behind closed doors? Do you know the challenge of each and every one and any other person? Because you can be even in a poor family, but what about you? You could be the one who's actually the most cherished out of all the kids of that poor family. Yes, you were poor, but you were cherished. What about your other siblings? They were not. Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Hey, no, my man. At a certain point, everything is very relative, So you have got to understand that being firm and settled in your base is super important. So that when these anxiety attacks comes to you, you can be shaken on your base, yes, but you're not shifted off your base. Or at least not too much. And even if it happens, you need to have the right people around you that will help you get yourself back centered. Because I can guarantee you, there's nothing better than seeing a lion on the floor gasping for air for a lot of people. That's when the hyenas come, try to snatch a piece. So you have got to understand, you have got to understand where you stand. You have got to understand how you function. You have got to understand how you flow. And thanks to that, that didn't mean I didn't consider the idea of the diamond going back to my old activity, the diamonds business. But I'm being realistic. This is what I'm doing now, music. Of course, for obviously many reasons I could go back to that industry. Because my industry right now is fucked. I mean, yeah, we're able to survive, but the truth be told, like, I was making fucking much more money before this fucking thing came than I'm making now. As much as I'm a businessman, what got me where I am is because I was passionate. And I am passionate. And I didn't look at money. I believed in myself. I believed in my sound. So much so that I influenced generations of producers. They may not admit it, but I influenced all of them. Producers and DJs alike. I changed the full industry. Me, I was one of those who contributed to that. Admit it, don't admit it. It's for you to find out. But me, I'm telling you, I know my worth. When you've done that, you can doubt yourself, no matter the struggle, no matter the problem. You understand? When I'm saying this, you can feel the energy is pumping up because you pump yourself up with the knowledge of what you've accomplished. And yes, of course, you have to remind yourself these things. Because it's too easy to look down on yourself. You looking down on you. No. It's too easy to look at the things that, no, at a certain point, yes, you have to be humble. But humble doesn't mean being selfless. No. Be less about you. That's what it is. But attention, I'm as important as anyone else. However, I do know when it's about others, then yes. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to forget myself in this. And those are some of the things that sequences that I put in place to help me regain control over this shit. Don't get me wrong. The sentiment and the feeling of anxiety is a very powerful and vicious thing. So it still is there some way, shape, or form, somehow. But I guarantee you that the more you work on your self-esteem, the more you work on pumping your energy, and not even your ego, because your ego is whatever. Your ego is like it's like those guys that flex a lot, but the truth is that they may have physical strength, but they don't have any sense of technique whatsoever, and they're easily broken down mentally, so it's not about flexing the ego, it's about fueling the spirit, fueling the soul, fueling what is deeper inside you. Moto Music is saying being firm and settle in your base is super important indeed. Somebody write that down. This one is sharing gold here. This is a key life principle. Know who you are and be proud in it. I'm a huge proponent of being self-aware and being confident in who you are. You will be shaken less by life's events and find your place in it all with more peace in your mind. Exactement. That doesn't mean, and I repeat, that because you're standing firm in your basis and your ground and you understand that you're rooted in your truth and in your being, that you're better than anyone. No. And that somebody's criticism is automatically to be dismissed because it's humbling. Me, I've learned that. I've learned that from my father himself. I've seen my father being humiliated. I've seen my mother being humiliated. We're talking about people that had money. And when they had it, you should have seen all the cocksuckers, all the cockroaches, all the hyenas who were disguised as, whatever. Humiliation. And it's not just humiliation, some bullshit humiliation. And we're talking about some deep shit that can lead somebody to actually be tempted to even suicide themselves. And those people think we forgot. But I'm not a revengeful person. It's not even in our family. We're not like that. But in life, everything has its time. Your success has its time. Your failure has also its time. Everything in life is sequenced. It's how you behave when those sequences unfold themselves in your existence. Because the ultimate truth and the ultimate absolute is that we're all going to die one day. So until that happens, I refuse to be victim and fall victim of anxiety or anything that's going to throw me off my loop. It may come, of course, just like the wind blows on my skin. I cannot impeach the wind. I shall welcome the wind. Sometimes it's cold, so I cover myself. Sometimes it's feeling nice, so I remove some layers. But overall, it's life.